Hi everybody, I'm Jolene with Jovi Star Soul Astrology, and welcome back. I'm going to talk today about the recent solar eclipse in Sagittarius that occurred on Saturday at 2:44 a.m. on the East Coast. And I hope that you have all been experiencing it in a pleasant way, that you are thinking about where you are and where you want to go, because that is what this eclipse has brought to light. The eclipse occurred at 12 degrees of Sagittarius, is a new moon, and new moons are a time to set intentions and to begin to think about what we want to do moving forward. And in Sagittarius, we have the opportunity to sort of really take a look at what we believe in and what our philosophies have been in life and how we view the world in general, and take a look at what really matters to us and what we have believed in and how we have lived our lives up to this point, and whether or not those philosophies and those practices still hold true for us today, based on everything that we've experienced up until now. And also to sort of look at humanity in general, more of a 30,000 foot view, rather than, being mired in the details of day to day life, but taking a step back and looking at it, through a wide lens, and then, really thinking about what everything means to us. What do we want to do going forward? So this eclipse, and any eclipse actually, they're powerful. It's a new moon, but with an eclipse behind it, it makes the energy even more powerful, and can actually set us up and help us create new beginnings, or end something that may not have been working for us in our life, based on how we choose to take a look at it, from a bigger perspective. So the eclipse energies will last for up to 6 months and will help us to begin on a new path, stop going down one path and move forward in another way. So, this is a big eclipse, even bigger because it ends the eclipse season on the Sagittarius Gemini nodal axis that we have been experiencing for the last almost 2 years. So, there are a lot of things that we can do to take the information that we've been learning, and the concepts that we've been putting into practice and talking about over the last few years, actually, bringing that to a culmination and deciding what we want to do with it, what really holds true for us. So it is a big ending to a long eclipse season in Sagittarius and Gemini. So moving forward, we should have gained a lot of wisdom and the ability to understand what it is that we believe, and now we can start moving forward and applying that in our lives if we choose to do that. So that will manifest itself in our lives in different ways, depending on where we have the Sagittarius and Jupiter energy in our charts. And if you don't have a copy of your chart, you can head over to one of the places that offer free birth charts on the internet. So astrocharts.com or AstroSeek. Those are good places to get a copy of your birth chart and take a look at where Sagittarius is sitting. This is Sagittarius in your chart, and see what types of things, what area of life you might be expanding or changing your beliefs with and moving forward in a different way, or what you might be ending if there's something in your life that no longer is true for you, moving out of that and into something different. And in the first house, if you have Sag in your first house, that's going to be about changes within yourself and how you show up in the world. If you have Sagittarius in your second house, which is all about comforts, your personal comfort and security in your earned income, and how you spend money, your debts, your overall stability, you may be changing the way that you handle your personal resources. And the idea to you of what comfort actually means may be changing and expanding in a different direction. If you have Sagittarius in your third house of communication, you may decide to start teaching people and talking to people about what it is that you believe in, your philosophies and your spiritual beliefs. If you have Sagittarius in your fourth house, you may start to change yourself and your family, and look at what your family beliefs are and whether or not going forward, based on what you've learned, if that holds true or you want to make some changes there. That may also involve researching your family genealogy and expanding your knowledge on where you came from. If Sagittarius is in your fifth house of creativity, you could be starting new creative projects that are based in different types of beliefs and philosophies that have changed for you, or you may be enhancing them. If Sagittarius is in your sixth house of health and service, you may start looking at doing a different type of job in the day-to-day. You may look at law. Jupiter rules law. You may look at expanding your compassion and your reach to other people, and changing the way that you take care of yourself even, and the people around you. You might decide that the way that you've been eating or exercising needs to change, and that your philosophies and what you have believed all along is now different, or you want to change that. If Sagittarius is in your seventh house of relationships and partnerships, you may decide that you either want to that what you're experiencing in your relationships is no longer in line with who you are and what you truly want. And you may decide to change that completely. You might decide to end a relationship, or you might decide to start a new relationship based on something that has a much bigger meaning. Get out of the details and sort of look at what you really and truly want out of a relationship. In the eighth house that is a very deep spiritual house. The eighth house is the house of mysteries, and it's the house of the occult. It is a lot of times what we keep hidden and secret, but it's very powerful. It's the house of combined resources, and so significant partnerships. We may decide that how we have been operating in those areas, or the things that have been culminating under the surface for us, including, you know, what we need to heal deep down, you know, our very primal wounds, or relationships that we are very tied to. Anything that is a very deep and intense experience for us in our life, we may look at changing those types of things in our lives. And you know, we might want to step back and not look so much at the detail of that, but actually what that area of our life really means to us. And you know, we could explore the mystical and the occult, and incorporate some of that into our lives going forward. If Sagittarius falls in your ninth house of expansion and spirituality, we might decide to start traveling more, to expand our awareness and experience more of what's going on out there in the world, so that we can empathize better and understand what we're all going through as a collective. You might decide to write and publish something creative that you are working on, that you've learned in the last few years, or maybe many, many years. Uh, if you have Sagittarius in your 10th house of career and public image, you could decide that the job that you have been in and how people see you in your commitments no longer works for you, that you believe in something different, that maybe if building money and wealth and, you know, gaining power in your job and your career, for the reasons that you've been doing it for so long, no longer serves you. It may not mean the same to you anymore, and you may choose to end a career that you've known, and move into something different that resonates more with who you believe that you are now and who you want to be going forward. If Sagittarius rules your 11th house of community and friends and hopes and dreams, you may decide that a new group of friends is needed for you, that who you have been associating with is no longer moving in the same direction that you are, and you might decide that it is more truthful for you to move in a different direction. Or you might be the one that brings revolutionary ideas to the group that you are in now, and helps philosophies and people in general as a collective, help them to understand and be more forward thinking. So you could change the way that you communicate in the groups that you are in. And you could decide that, you know, what all of your hopes and dreams were built on are no longer as significant to you, the specific things now, as they have been in the past, and you may move towards something that is more powerful and meaningful for you, in terms of you know, how you want to expand spiritually, or create a different life, or persona for yourself going forward. If Sagittarius falls in your 12th house of what's hidden and your connection to your divinity, you may change, you know, how you believe, and you may try to understand better what your connection to God and the divine means to you, and you and process some of that hidden knowledge that you've always had, but maybe didn't understand in the same way. So you may choose to do some past life regression work, or you may choose to take up meditation practices. Anything that can help you move through any kind of issues in your subconscious that have been laying there and wanting to deal with, but you weren't really sure what they meant to you. You may have been doing a lot of work around that, and now it's time for you to move forward and make some changes in that area of life. So that, in a nutshell, is how this solar eclipse could be affecting you, depending on where Sagittarius sits in your chart. And that those changes could be things that you're thinking about and you're ready to put into action in the next 6 months. I hope that you find an enriching way to put your wisdom and what you have learned into practice in your life, and move forward in a way that makes you feel good and full and inspired. If you are interested in looking at your birth chart and understanding your astrological blueprint, I would be happy to book a reading with you or for you, and you can reach me at Gemini Fire 65 at msn.com. That's my email, or you can put a comment here and I will respond, or over on my Facebook page, Joey Star Soul Astrology. You can comment there or DM me there, and I would be happy to get in touch with you. Thank you to those folks who have given me the opportunity to read for you so far. I appreciate it, and I hope that it was helpful. I will be putting out some videos explaining the beginning concepts of astrology. So a little bit of astrology for beginners. I found that to be helpful for me when I was starting to learn astrology, and I will be discussing some of those concepts going forward, hopefully on a weekly basis. And I hope that you will join me, and we can interact and help one another move forward and understand our lives and our purposes in a different and unique way using astrology. So thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Take good care. Bye.